Well, good day, people of YouTube, and welcome back. So today we're going to be stepping through the lens of a dumpster diver and see if it is possible to beat this fast-paced, metal-clanking, Gundam-fuel-driven game and usher in the age of Rummy. If you want to see these types of challenges or PvP-related content, I am live on Twitch. With the basics out of the way, let's take a look at our mech and see why this whole video exists. So ignoring the fact that all the parts are from Goodwill, thank you, Carla, there are some major issues. First, our back weapons do not exist. I suppose it could be difficult to find an RPG to fit your 10-meter tall mech, so we're missing out on a lot of DPS. What else? Well, all of the inner parts are the equivalent of that first vehicle you ever had, and we have no expansion. Okay. A lot of bad, what's the good? Well, we have the Sweet 16 and an oversized cheese grater. That's it. Oh, and we can kick. Probably going to be most of this video. Now, we will only be going through chapter 1 and 2. Sorry, but this is a 20-hour game. Your attention span is that of a housefly, and I like my sanity. But hey, if you wanted to see more of this, you could always like and subscribe. So kicking things off in chapter 1 went about as well as you would expect. Rushed past everything, get stuck, get unstuck, get to the boss, and let it rip. Okay. This worked fine and well until we got to this mission. Since I enjoy pain, I wanted to try to do the true ending, making this mission a living hell. Spoilers ahead, by the way. After getting contacted by the big brains themselves, you have a choice, either to continue the easy way or get stuck for about 40 minutes. Guess which one we chose. In hindsight, this mission isn't that bad, if you're sporting the most up-to-date mech. Or a normal mech. Anything but this one. Once you turn on both your teammates, you have the element of surprise. After doing any amounts of DPS to either of them, they both turn on you, making this a gank session that can rival anything in Dark Souls. And just like most ganks, you usually end up dying. Just please get stunned. Okay, this might be over. Until we finally started to find something that worked, with a little help from chat and a nearby Tetra unit. So, first things first. After respawning at the checkpoint, because you are going to die, rush over to Iguatsu. He is the first one you need to take out. Wait for him to stop moving around and start kicking him. The chainsaw also does do damage if you hold it up to their face, so that's nice. If Big Brother comes over or the little femboy starts moving around too much, restart. Killing him before he heals is preferred, but getting his heals down before the rolling artillery unit comes over is a must. And once you get lucky, it will be down to a 1v1. Now this is where the real game begins, because this rolling hunk of metal is rocking songbirds, a Zimmerman, tank treads, and 2 heals. If you know anything about PvP, then you know how difficult it is to kill this man with a scrap launcher. But however, we do have a little ace up our sleeve, and that comes in the form of this Tetra unit. Once you turn on your allies, everything else becomes friendly, meaning this walking spider is your cannon fodder. But don't get lazy, because the meta on treads can chew through him even faster than he can chew through you. Don't get discouraged, however. With a little luck and a whole lot of ramming your head into the wall, you will eventually pull it off. Okay. Please, Sweet 16! Oh, that was bad. Oh, that was bad. Oh, I didn't enjoy any of that. But the fun doesn't stop there, because this next mission is a showstopper. As you approach the enormous mining vessel, it will blow up. From the rubble will come these 2 oversized jackrabbits. These things are fast. Really fast. Not only that, but they are a fan of WWE. And only after a few more 100 deaths, we finally found a pattern. Eventually, they will stop moving around long enough for you to get the chainsaw off. From there, fire your scrap launcher, then start kick spamming. But it isn't over yet. Once they're both dead, these godforsaken things show up. There are about 5, 6 of them. I couldn't really tell from all the missiles, fire, and drive-bys. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is where this run ended. Maybe somebody out there way better than me could possibly pull this off, but it seems impossible. We tried quite a bit of shit in the span of an hour. Running to get on the rocks didn't work. Running to the edge of the map didn't work. Rushing at them kind of worked, but then the game sent more jackrabbits. These backward Beyblades were the bane of my existence for the entire time we tried to complete this mission. The main issue why I think this is impossible is because there's just a lot of them. The scrap launcher does have decent stagger, but when you can't hit anything with it, it doesn't really mean anything. Unfortunately, this was a battle of nutrition, and unfortunately, Rummy is a 2-pump chump. So for the sake of my sanity, we moved on to the easy mission. Yeah, I know. Sue me. Moving on to the easier mission proved quite fruitful. Other than the fact that I couldn't reach the driller half the time, everything else was a cakewalk. Sadly, however, that means there will be no true ending. Also means the pain that I put myself through in that previous mission was for nothing. Go me. With that being said, most of the missions, again, would go how you expect. But let's go over some of the highlights. The wall. Honestly, not that bad. Most cannon fodder in this game can be one-shotted by any weapon you run. Or you can just use your feet. Whatever suits your fancy. The Juggernaut, the boss for the wall, is pretty easy. Rusty is actually useful here as he uses himself as a decoy. Stay on the Juggernaut's ass. Hold up the cheese grater, wait for the stun, and let it rip. You are now the Beyblade champion. Once Rusty leaves, you do the same thing that you did when he was there. Maybe he wasn't that useful after all. Rinse, repeat, and down goes the jug. Pretty simple stuff. Next up was the defend mission. Now my first attempt I did fail, however this is easy. Just rush ahead of the helicopter and clear everything out. Watch your generator meter because this thing couldn't power my laptop. Other than that, keep the helicopter healthy. Once you reach the end, it will be able to tank hits while you sit there and wait for a reload so you can clear the mobs out. Thank you, Sweet 16. And finally, what you guys have probably been waiting for, how will Rummy do against Balteus? And the answer is, pretty damn good. First up, we have to kill Sula. He's pretty easy. His microwave gun is terrible, and you don't have to manage any of your supplies, so go ham. Next up will be the big man himself, Balteus. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I got really lucky. Really lucky. For some reason, Balteus wanted to stick himself into a corner with his ass in the air. And since I'm not a guy to pass up an opportunity, I took full advantage. Holding up my IKEA blender and holding my W key at him was, and I kid you not, the only thing that I did. First try, too easy, Rummy is OP. And there you guys have it. You can complete Chapter 1 as Rummy. Who would have thought? But don't go anywhere just yet. We do have Chapter 2 to get through. Not a lot of missions, I promise. So starting off in Chapter 2, we are heading back to R.A.D. Just like every other mission, skip past everything, have a Spider-Man moment, assert dominance, and reach the cleaner. This was also very easy. Stay above the cleaner because you are a dirty little boy and keep throwing the scrap down his windpipe. Don't use the chainsaw until you stagger him. Once staggered, chainsaw to the face, shotgun blast, and kick. Then fly back above him, rinse and repeat, and you've got an easy fight. Next up, the femboy makes his reappearance, but this time, he is alone. He's easy. Just W key at him while holding the chainsaw. Once he gets low, some sus boys will spawn. Back off the femboy to de-aggro and clear them out, then get back to grinding. Alright guys, and for the final boss, the one that gave me the most trouble, the Sea Spider. After getting blown up from space a couple of times, we make it over there where this walking tumor will spawn. This fight comes down to luck. You will consistently get him down to under a quarter of his health. From there, though, he will proceed to nuke everything around him. Now, if you're waiting for a get good moment, you're just gonna have to keep waiting. Because like most of the previous fights, all I did was, once again, hold up my chainsaw, smash the W key, and pray. And pray. And pray. Until finally. No, that's so unfortunate. Hold on, wait a minute. Okay, hold on, wait a minute. GG, we did it. Holy shit, we did it. Holy fuck. It was just that last little bit. It was that last tiny little bit that was fucking me up. So the main issue with this boss is that the second phase you have to stay close. And once you're stunned, this thing pulls a Goku and sends you straight to the Shadow Realm. Couple that with the fact that he is just burning through your heals in the first phase, you can probably see why this didn't go well. Nonetheless, however, we did, for all intents and purposes, pull it off. And that means we sent Rummy off into Chapter 3. So I'm gonna be honest with you guys, this editing took quite a while. If you guys enjoyed, well, you know what to do. Cheers.